Innovating Education Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.
Welcome to Learning World. This week we'll be in Syria, Indonesia and Colombia, reporting on remote communities and schooling. We bring you stunning pictures from the Syrian desert, where Bedouin tribes, suspicious of education programs, find they don't necessarily clash with their ancestral heritage. Go to a distant Indonesian archipelago, education programs there are helping communities prepare for the modern world. But we start in Colombia with this report on the risks young school children are prepared to take to get an education.
Here in Los Pinos, an hour and a half away from Bogota, there's no school bus. Instead, there's an 800-metre zip line across the Rio Negro Canyon.
I put my daughter here and I make sure she's hanging on. But even if she let go or panicked, she couldn't fall out because she's attached here. And also, I'm holding on to her.
Y luego la prenso acá.
I want to be a soldier.
Mario is 17 and has already left school, so he helps his younger brother because the little children aren't allowed to use the zip line on their own.
At the beginning, I went with my parents, who took me over in a bag. But later on, I learned to do it alone.
In winter, we use more safety measures. You need good brakes. So we often use branches or straw as a brake so we don't smash into the rubber tyres on the other side. I'm frightened of doing it alone.
The only alternative to the zip line is a 2-hour walk each way. 6 years ago, the Colombian government promised a cable car, but despite accidents on the zip line, it never materialised.
Luckily, we haven't lost any children yet.
Preserving cultural identity is often paramount to isolated communities, and our next two reports explore the dynamic between cultural identity and education. We head now to some isolated islands off the Indonesian coast of Sumatra.
The Mentawai Islands look like paradise. But even here, tourism and the modern world are slowly moving in, and the results aren't always positive. Dr. Tarmizi Bian is therefore developing education methods aimed at countering the negative effects of the encroaching modern world.
Because we cannot prevent the influence of the material civilization here, at least we can prepare them so they can defend themselves. They can preserve their culture, they can preserve their values.
In the last 10 years, his organisation has set up 13 learning centres across the islands, and more than 3,000 children have completed the preschool classes. The aim is to pass on knowledge, build confidence and teach moral values. Unlike in public schools, there's no corporal punishment here. They teach basic numeracy and literacy, but also hygiene, dress codes and nutrition.
I want to educate the children. It's very important because then, when they're grown up, they can contribute to the village's development.
Art and play are essential here. Instead of repeating dry facts, these children are encouraged to develop independent thought and constructive criticism.
This school has given us a new vision, a new awareness.
Modernity and development are also an issue for some remote Bedouin tribes. And from the heart of the Syrian desert, Learning World brings us closer to the struggle of Bedouins who feel trapped between tradition and modernity.
Here in Syria, these nomadic Bedouin tribes still live according to traditional beliefs and customs, and many people are suspicious of modern life and formal education, considering them as a threat to their traditions. Bedouins believe that camels are a gift from God.
I feed the camels and then I take them to the racetrack.
Illiteracy is endemic here, but now new mobile schools have been established. They follow these tribes so that people can learn while still living according to their traditions. But some elders think that learning about Bedouin life is an education in itself.
I've never been to school or studied. My school is the desert. Education has no limits. The human being has thoughts and a mind. These two are knowledge itself.
The World Food Programme is also helping to take education to remote communities.
Our program is to educate the children, so the next generation would not come and have a statement like this. To the contrary, the next generation would understand that it's very important for the children to receive education and to go to school. Trust me, an educated herder is far better than an illiterate herder.
But the elders are not convinced. Ultimately, they fear that education will destroy their way of life.
This is our life. This is the life of the Bedouin. But 3/4 of Syrian Bedouin are moving out of the desert. They're going to the cities. That's a fact.
But the teachers say that Bedouin children are generally passionate about learning, and that dreams of winning a camel race are nowadays often coupled with dreams of passing a maths test.
That's all we've got time for this week, but be sure to join us next week for more global stories from Learning World. And to see any of our stories again, check out our website at euronews.net/learningworld.
Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.